everyone, welcome to this video tutorial for our string of hearts cat scarf that you can see Melba wearing here. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe, and hope to catch you soon. Thanks, bye. Okay, so for this project you'll need some yarn, and you can use pretty much any yarn you like. You can use any colour. Of course, for Valentine's Day hearts it would be traditionally red or a pink, but you can use any colour you like, any yarn you like. It will just alter the size of your hearts and the look of your scarf. So I'm going to use this one here. This is a kind of a bright pink or raspberry coloured acrylic, so I'm going to use that today. And then you will need a crochet hook that matches your yarn. I'm using 3.5 millimeters. You'll need some scissors to snip off your ends. You'll need a darning needle to weave in your ends. And then you'll need a tape measure to make sure that the length of your project suits the circumference of your cat's neck. Okay, so for this project you'll need to know how to slip knot onto your hook, how to create a chain, how to triple crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and those are all in US terms. You'll need to know how to picot to make the peak on the hearts, and I'll run through that with you, but if you need further instruction, please check out a YouTube video or other resource that you have. And then you'll need to know how to weave in your ends, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so just a couple of notes on sizing. You can see with these two that I've made here, the hearts come out quite different sizes. This is obviously a lighter weight yarn with a slightly smaller hook, and it was a 3.5 millimeter hook. And this one here comes out much bigger in the hearts, and this was a 4 millimeter hook with a heavier weight yarn. So, you know, depending on the look that you prefer, you can make a finer scarf or a more bulky looking scarf. And as far as the length that you need and to fit your cat's neck circumference, it's actually really simple. You just take the measurement of your cat's neck circumference. Here's Melba joining us. So you'll take the length of your cat's neck circumference. So you'll create a chain of hearts or a string of hearts to that length, and then you'll decide how many hearts you want to have hanging down. So on this one I allowed for 3. On this one I just allowed for 2. So I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but once you get to the length you want, then you'll add the number that you want to be hanging down, or you can work it the other way around. Leave the number that you're hanging down and measure it from there and go to the correct length. So lots of leeway in the sizing. You don't have to size it perfectly, and yeah, super simple to size on your cat. Excuse Melba there. And let's get started. Okay, to get started, slip knot onto your hook, whichever method you use to do that. And then we're going to chain 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now locate the 4th chain from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place 4 triple crochets into that 4th chain. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up the yarn. So you'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 of them. Yarn over, pull through another 2, and then yarn over, pull through the final 2. So that's a triple crochet. So we're going to place 3 more into that same chain. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so 2 more triple crochets into that same chain. So that's the 4th chain from the hook. In the next chain, place 2 double crochets. So yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then in the last chain, place 2 single crochets. Okay, so we've created one side of our first heart. Now to create the picot, which is that little peak at the end of the heart, chain 1, and I'll just pull out my hook and show you. So you want to locate the 2 loops that are just under that chain you've just made. So there's one here, and then there's the second one here. So hopefully that's clear on your project, on your yarn. So I'll just reinsert my hook. So what you'll do is you insert your hook into those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and slip stitch to create your picot. Okay, now we'll move on and create the mirror of this heart. So we'll create the second side. Now locate that first chain again, so the loop of the other loop of that first chain, and you'll put your 2 single crochets into. Now that can sometimes be a little bit hard to locate, but just find where your tail is, find where that second loop of your last chain is, and put those 2 single crochets into that loop, into that chain, then 2 double crochets into the next chain. So it's just an exact mirror of what we did initially, and of course working backwards, and then place your 4 triple crochets into that next chain. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 more makes 4. And then chain 2, and then come back into the center of your heart and slip stitch, so you create the shape of your heart. Okay, so that's our first heart done. From there, chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we're just going to repeat the exact same process that we used for our first heart. Okay, so if you locate the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we're going to place our 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, our 4 triple crochets into that 4th chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2 double crochets into the next chain. 1 and 2. And then our 2 single crochets into the next chain. 1 and 2. Create the picot by chaining 1. Locate those 2 loops, 1 and 2. Yarn over, pull through and pull through. Create your slip stitch. And then working up the other side, so 2 single crochets in that first chain, 2 double crochets in the next chain, and your 4 triple crochets in the next chain. 1 and 2 and 3 4, chain 2, and then slip stitch back into the center of the heart to create your heart shape. So that's our first 2 hearts completed. Just make sure you give that a good tug to create that nice heart shape. So there's our first 2 hearts created, and so you're going to keep going for the length that you need for your cat's neck circumference, and that number of hearts will be different for everyone because of the yarn that they're using and the hook that you're using. So keep going to the length of your cat's neck circumference. For example, Melba's neck is around 24 centimeters, so I'll go to at least that length. And then I'll probably, with this yarn, I'll probably have 3 hearts hanging down. So I'll add those extra 3 onto the length of Melba's neck circumference. So keep on going, creating your hearts. And once I've got to the length that I want, I'll come back and we'll talk through finishing off. Okay, so I'm just checking in with you here on sizing. So I've decided that for this scarf, I'm going to leave 3 hanging down because my hearts are quite small, and they're certainly smaller than the ones I made on my previous scarf. So I left 2 on my last one. I'm going to leave 3 on this one. So I will take my measurement from the bottom of the 4th heart. And if I measure, I've got about 19 or 20 centimeters there already. So considering that each of my hearts is about, let's say, 3 centimeters, I'm going to add 2 more hearts. So that will give me a total of around 25, 26 centimeters, which is plenty of leeway for Melba's neck, which is around 24 centimeters. And so really easy to size this scarf. At the end, we're just going to add, let me undo this. At the end, we're just going to add a loop, and you feed through the number of hearts that you want to make it fit or to make it sit how you want it to sit. So again, super easy to size, and you don't have to size it exactly. So you keep going for how many more hearts you need, and I'll meet you back here once I'm done with my 2 more hearts. Okay, so I'm where I want to be with the length of my string of hearts. So I'm now just going to create the little loop that we can feed our other end through to let it sit on our cat. So chain the amount that you need. Now this will be different for each scarf. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see how 10 goes on this one. So if I loop that around, is that going to be enough? I might just do 2 more, I think. 1 and 2. So you'll just need to work out how much you need as a chain to be able to thread your hearts through. Okay, so I'm going to say that 12 is okay for me. Let me just make sure. So I'll just insert my hook in there. And let's just make sure that I can get that through. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get that through, I think. Because obviously you can fold the hearts. They should be pretty soft. Okay, so then just slip stitch back into the center of your last heart there. And pull that nice and tight. Yarn over, pull through, and snip off your end, and then pull everything nice and tight on that end there. Now you'll take your darning needle, and all it is a matter of finishing up this scarf. So you can see it's super simple, just a repetitive pattern. Very easy to do, and then we'll finish it off with weaving in our ends into the back side of the hearts. So I'm going to assume that you know how to do that. Just weave it through. Actually, I'll come through just a little bit more. And then back through. just to secure it. You can go back and forward a couple of times. I'm just going to go through one way and then back the other way. Snip off the excess. And I'll go ahead and I'll weave that other tail end in off camera. But you can then just shape your hearts. Make sure they're all sitting as you want them to sit. But I'll go ahead and I'll weave this end in off camera and I'll be back and we'll finish off together. Okay, so I've woven in that end and now I'll just feed my hearts through. And like I said, I left enough for 3 of these small hearts to hang down. So I'll feed through 3 of my hearts. And there's my finished scarf. Like I said, you might just need to make sure your hearts aren't twisted and just shape them up a little bit. And there you have it, your scarf. And that one there, and then I've got this one that I made previously, which you can see the hearts are quite a bit bigger, so it creates quite a different look. So it just depends whether you like this more chunky look or you like the finer look. And I've got Melba's hair all over these already. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial in time for Valentine's Day. And as always, I would love to see photos of your cat wearing his or her Valentine's Day string of hearts scarf. So please send those along either to us at email, catventurous.community@gmail.com, or you can also tag us on social media. We're on Instagram, on Facebook, at catventurous.crochet. So please send those along. It gives us great pleasure to see them, or it gives me great pleasure. Melba, you know, she's not so bothered, but yeah, I love to see them, and I love to see your creativity, the colors that you've used, the yarn that you've used, and of course I love to see your cat wearing your project. So please send those along, and happy Valentine's Day. Take care. Hi, cutie. So pretty and red. Good girl. You're such a good girl. Hey? Thank you, baby. Oh, Melba, you're... Just want to smush you.